الله أكبر.
الله أكبر. الله أكبر. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله.
أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله.
أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله. أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله. أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله.
أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله.
حي على الصلاة. حي على الصلاة.
لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله يا رب.
حي على الفلاح. حي على الفلاح.
لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله.
الله أكبر. الله أكبر.
الله أكبر.
لا إله إلا الله.
الله أكبر. الله أكبر. لا إله إلا الله. إن الحمد لله نحمده سبحانه ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا. من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلن تجد له وليا مرشدا. وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له، له الملك وله الحمد يحيي ويميت وهو على كل شيء قدير. اللهم اقسم لنا من خشيتك ما تحول به بيننا وبين معصيتك، ومن طاعتك ما تبلغنا به جنتك، ومن اليقين ما تهون به علينا مصائب الدنيا. ومتعنا اللهم بأسماعنا وأبصارنا وقواتنا ما أحييتنا، واجعله الوارث منا، واجعل ثأرنا على من ظلمنا، وانصرنا اللهم على من عادانا، ولا تجعل مصيبتنا في ديننا، ولا تجعل الدنيا أكبر همنا ولا مبلغ علمنا، ولا تسلط علينا بذنوبنا من لا يخافك ولا يرحمنا يا رب العالمين. أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم إن زلزلة الساعة شيء عظيم. يوم ترونها تذهل كل مرضعة عما أرضعت، وتضع كل ذات حمل حملها، وترى الناس سكارى وما هم بسكارى ولكن عذاب الله شديد. وأصلي وأسلم على المبعوث رحمة للعالمين سيدنا محمد بن عبد الله وعلى آله وصحبه ومن والاه وعنا معهم إلى يوم الدين. أما بعد. In the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the most compassionate, the most merciful, all praise and thanks are due to him, and peace and blessings be upon his beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. He who is guided by the will of Allah, no one can misguide him, and he who is misguided, no one can guide him except Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I do bear witness that there is no God but Allah, and Muhammad is his messenger. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Respected brothers and sisters, today's khutbah will be about, inshallah, if you want to protect your family, you have to start working on yourself first. I think none of us but would love his family to be the best and to be the people of the Jannah, whether you are married or even non-married. Because if you are not married, at least you have a brother or a sister or a mother or a father or all of them. If you are married, you have a wife and inshallah at least one kid, if not more. So when I say family, any category of a family, if you want to protect your family, but on top of the family, I will be addressing the issue of the kids. Start working on yourself. What was the motivation for this title? I think you know better than me, especially those who are rooted in this country and those who have small kids, that we in June has some kind of big challenge for Muslims because it's a special month that a group of people, they celebrate something really does make a big challenge, especially in the public schools for your and our kids. We are aware of this. None of us but knows what this happens. Okay, now this is the month or the title. Now, the broader idea behind this is the sex education. The much broader than behind this, the whole idea of sexuality, which is a big challenge, not just for Muslims and Christians and Jews and what is so-called the conservative people. It's a big challenge, whether we love it or not. Now, let's put things in the right order. We are living in a pluralistic society. One of the things that they are proud of, that they do their best to be one of the best in terms of protecting human rights. Sometimes while supporting a group of people, they might be violating the rights of others. True or false? It happens. So according to the law of the society, no one will take care, pay attention, unless if you raise up your voice. Now, common sense, you can't raise up your voice correctly unless if you know your rights. If we made a random, just, like a survey to ask Muslims in general, new immigrants, old immigrants, what is the percentage of them who know their constitutional rights and the Human Rights Charter, what applies on them, what not, how much they might be violated against them? I can make sure that the majority of us, we don't know. So my first message, please, do your best, spare a time to educate yourself about your rights. Read, consult, search, listen, watch, speak with experts, with lawyers, with special official websites. Read about the law. Read about, consult, don't let your biggest problem when you support someone in the political sphere just, to have a masjid or something, or discuss something very superficial. No. Those politicians, that some of them, they might come here and they show all kind of sympathy. You need to know, are they genuine and honest when they go there? They support the full package of your values, or simply they don't care? Because this will end up he, she, me, we, they might be suffering through our kids by laws that we did not participate in putting them or reducing them or changing them or whatever. Because we might not be aware, we don't know, we did not read, no one told us. So my first message, which is not part of my field, I'm not expert in law, I'm not expert in human rights, I'm not expert in these things, but at least my first message, which is part of the introduction, educate yourself about this. Because sometimes you are part of the people of this country, you are 2 millions, and at least maybe 50% of you pay tax. You are taxpayers. According to the law of the country, you have a voice, must be respected. So when a group of people are supported, okay, you have no problem. Let them support whoever they want, but not on the base of violating the rights of others. This is called legally violating, or conflicting human rights by supporting someone against someone else. So there is a constitutional problem in this. We need to be educated. This is my first message. But it's part of the introduction. Now, what was the title? The title was, if you want to protect your family, start working on yourself. Now, this is my field now. I'm a religious preacher, resident, scholar, khatib, call me whatever you want. Now this is my area. So please, I want you to join me in a quick journey in my area. Now, my area, I mean the area of Islam. Some people, they have the Pride Month. We need to have every month to be proud in it. We have the Pride faith. We should be proud of our faith, proud of our system. We have a faith system that stems out of it, a system of values. We do share many of these values with others, and we do have our own values that by the constitution and by the law must be respected. You need to know them and to be proud of them, and you need to ask now to show your pride in your faith and your values like others have the right to show this legally. Okay? Now, my religious message from within the system of this beautiful Islam. I need to pay or attract your attention to two big files. File number one, I felt, I touched, it came to my understanding from sitting with the people that many people, they have this kind of fear that Islam might be lost, or their kids might lose completely their identity and Islam maybe will not appear in a few years or something like that. Now, I need to tell you something. Islam as a full system on earth, Allah has given us the guarantee that it will be protected. It's not your job or my job, by the way. By the way, let me just remind you and remind myself, Islam does not need me. Actually, I need Islam. Islam does not, with all due respect, Islam does not need you and me. We need Islam. Okay? This should be clear. Allah has declared the full guarantee of protecting His religion. One of the direct indications for this, this is the majestic we. نحن نزلنا الذكر وإنا له لحافظون. It's we who delivered and revealed this book, the constitution of humanity. And it's we who will protect it, not you and me. So let's close this file. But I will give you the proof of this file. Then I will jump to the other file, the area that I must work and you must work, and we will be held accountable in. This area, Islam as a full system on earth, it's not my direct job. In terms of, I can't control it, because many elements beyond my control, beyond my access, beyond my understanding, completely on an international level. But don't worry, just have the glad tidings. Very quickly, go with me through the history. حروب الردة, apostasy wars. In theory, they were supposed to vanish, to delete, to demolish Islam. Nothing. Few hundreds of years later, Al-Mughul wa Tatar, Mongols and Tatars, they smashed Al-Abbasiyin completely. You know, the Khilafat in Iraq, it was completely destroyed. Something you can't even imagine what they did. They were killing for the sake of killing. No captives, no prisoners. They just kill and destroy and burn, kill and destroy and burn. They destroyed, Bilad al-Sham. They were about to demolish Egypt, and you know about Ain Jalut, Qutuz and Bebras. We know the story. It's not that the only example in the history of humanity. The conqueror, the one of power, converted to Islam. Mongols and Tatars became Muslims. Subhanallah. Subhanallah. Second example. Third example. Crusaders. حروب الصليبية. Many of Muslims, we don't know, we say حروب صليبية, they are not aware that the Crusaders basically, they were 8 campaigns for 200 years. 200 years. Can you imagine? 200 years of continuous campaigns by European Christians against the Muslims in the Middle East. And they used to be targeting 2 big targets. Target number 1, they want to punish the infidels. Infidels means kuffar. We, Muslims, are infidels for them. And they want to punish the heretics of Arab Christians because they were not following the church of the Western Christianity. So it's internal and external. We are the external kuffar, infidels, and their fellows, the Orthodox, they are the internal heretics, zanadiqa. So they came to punish both of us. 200 years, 8 campaigns. The result, they were kicked out. Islam is still there. And actually, one of the things that many people, they don't know, especially about Syria and Palestine. Many people in Jerusalem, in Hebron, in Aleppo, in Homs, many of them, they are from the decent shape of the Crusaders, they became Muslims. Do you think why some Arabs, they are so white, with blue eyes, green eyes, more than some Europeans themselves? Some of them, you feel they came from Hamburg in Germany. Wallahi, some families, they are called the Germans, which means they go back 700, 800, 900 years back. They became Muslims. So Islam still victorious. Come back to what is so-called the colonial regimes, which is the occupying regimes, British, French, Spanish, Dutch, all of those people. They occupied, they killed, still. Now, First World War, Second World War. First World War, the collapse of the Ottomans. The very tough, fanatic secular in Turkey. 70 years, they banned Arabic language. They banned the hijab. They banned the adhan. They banned everything in Islam. Look, the last 20 years, what happened in Turkey? It is the haven for Muslims on earth now. Who imagined that this will happen after 70 years of smashing or trying to demolish Islam? In one of the toughest and most extremist secular regimes, militant regimes that happened in Turkey. Now they're coming back to Islam. Tunisia. Anyone in my age knows what does mean Al-Habib Bourqaiba mean? Siyama, fasting was prohibited by law. Hijab was prohibited by law. I'm not exaggerating. By law. It was prohibited to wear the hijab in Tunisia 25, 30 years ago. By law. Look now the people how they are coming back. So don't worry. Now we Arabs, especially in our Arab countries, Marxism, fascism, nationalism, all of this kind of ism, they worked for tens of years to delete and to demolish to the Arabic, Islamic revival in 80s and 90s. Wallahi, may Allah descend His mercy upon the soul of my father, Allah yarhamuh. I'm 55 now. When I was 20, exactly 35 years ago, at that time, my father was, I think 50 something, 55 more or less, because he passed away a few years ago, he was 85. So he was 50 something, between 50 and 60, I don't remember exactly. He told me the following, he said, Amjad, Wallahi 20 years ago, when I was 20, he was telling me about the 60s. He said, if someone in your age enter the masjid, he will be the breaking news on the magazine. Shabun yadkhulu masjidan. Breaking news. A young man enters a masjid in early 60s because no one comes to the masjid except the elderly people. Youth, they have nothing to do with religion because of communism. Because most of the people, they were making fun of religion. 99% of sisters, they were not wearing the hijab, including our grandmothers and our mothers. Many of them, short skirts. And I challenge you, if you have old albums, go and see them. I challenge you, by the way. I challenge you to go to your grandmothers or grandmothers in 50s and 60s to see their album photos. If you see one of them with hijab, come and tell me that you are not saying the truth. It's amazing was. 80s, 90s, the majority of the people, they came back to Islam. يريدون ليطفئوا نور الله. So please, I'm just giving you evidences not to lose hope, okay? And this is not my job or your job. It's Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So let's forget this. Let's come to our job now. What's the title? If you want to protect your family, you have to work on Yourself. I will give you quick 3 verses. I put them under the title of the divine prescription or a divine recipe. الوصفة الإلهية. Just 3 verses out of 10s. But they sum up the whole idea. Now, let's be frank. All Muslims on earth, if they are now, whatever power they have, can they compete Netflix? Let's be frank. Can we? In terms of the media, the power of the media, no. Can we compete with Disney? No. No. I mean, technically, as the power of the media, we can't. From a human point of view, not from divine, big. No, I'm talking as a humans now. They have invested billions and trillions for tens of years with the power of the militant and the control and the regime, and so you can't compare. Two incomparable entities. Yet, okay, what area can I control? I control my family, before my family, myself. Now, how can I compete? I will give you what is the philosophy of the recipe that I will give to you. إن تنصروا الله ينصركم. It's a conditional clause. The victory will come from Allah, and we have in the battle of Badr, إياكم منكم 20 صابرون يغلبوا 200. Now, mathematically speaking, if someone told you there is a battle, everyone is facing 10 with his manpower, a sword, 1 to 10. Can you imagine that everyone against 10 just with sword and spear and other, general speaking, wars? I mean, it's completely a loser. But Allah says, إياكم منكم 20 what? صابرون. وإن تتولوا يستبدل قوما غيركم. Now your job, قال ادخلوا عليهم الباب فإذا دخلتموه فإنكم غالبون وعلى الله فتوكلوا. This is, Allah is addressing Musa alayhi salam and Harun. In their time they were Muslims against the big giants, الكنعانيين in Palestine at that time. They were pagans. ربي اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد سورة المائدة. ربي إني لا أملك إلا نفسي وأخي. Just 2. يا الله, what will he do? قال يا موسى إن فيها قوما جبارين وإنا لن ندخلها حتى يخرجوا منها فإن يخرجوا منها ابقى قول لي I will come. Let me know when they leave, we will come. قال ربي إني لا أملك إلا نفسي أخي. I do not control except myself. قال رجلان ممن يخافون. Just 2. For those who fear Allah. Look to the equation, المعادلة الخاصة, the divine equation. يخافون. They fear Allah, mindful of Allah, respect Allah. ادخلوا عليهم الباب. You just move, do your role. Just get into the entrance, the gate of their place. Victory will come. Just move. The full victory is by Allah. The first step is yours. This is the equation. This is the mu'adala with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So what is our mu'adala now? What is our equation now? What's our formula, our recipe, our prescription? I will give you 3 and we will conclude inshallah. Number 1. قُوا أَنفُسَكُمْ وَأَهْلِيكُمْ نَارًا وَقُودُهَا النَّاسُ وَالْحِجَارَةُ. قُوا أَنفُسَكُمْ. Before you protect your family, you have to work on yourself. That's why I decided to give this title, أنفسكم. Because I see some parents, he's, for example, smoking. Whether normal cigarettes or the hookah or shisha or whatever. Wasting his time on daily basis, many hours on Netflix. Sitting at the cafe on the shisha with his friends. Paying no attention to his kids, have no time, yet he insists by sending his son to Islamic school that he wants his son to be Abu Bakr, Umar, Salah al-Din al-Ayyubi, Muhammad al-Fatih all together. Just by sending him to Islamic school. Habibi, please, not a good news I will give you. Islamic school will do nothing if you don't put 70 to 90% first of all at home. We must know this. We must know this. The same thing applies to the sisters. If you are wasting your time on fatafit And the best, about food, I'm not saying watching food is haram, but not 5 hours every day. Or Instagram, or the TikTok, or the latest plastic surgery for your nose and for your cheeks, for your lips. Then at the marginal time, your kids might have some kind of empathy, sympathy, compassion. No, your daughter will not be Aisha and Khadija. Be sure from this. We have to be careful. قُوا أَنفُسَكُمْ. Work on yourself. I used to tell some of the fathers, how come you want your son, for example, to be the best Muslim and you don't care to pray the Fajr at the masjid? You yourself. فاقد الشيء لا يعطيه. The one who does not have something cannot give it to others. This is number one. Number two, وَلْيَخْشَ. This is an amazing ayah. وَلْيَخْشَ الَّذِينَ إِذَا اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد. لا. وليخشى الذين إذا تركوا من خلف لو تركوا وليخشى الذين أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. وليخشى الذين لو تركوا من خلفهم ذرية ضعافا خافوا عليهم. Look, let those who have the fear in case if they left a weak offspring. All of us, we have this kind of fear. What if I passed away and I have 5 kids behind me? All of them 12 and 10 and 9. But what will happen? All the time, we have a serious fear, especially when we live in these countries, because we don't know what will happen to them. We have the fear. Allah is giving us the divine recipe. وَلْيَخْشَى. If you have the fear on your kids, what is the recipe? قال فَلْيَتَّقُوا اللَّهَ وَلْيَقُولُوا قَوْلًا سَدِيدًا. Subhanallah. Be mindful of Allah, be fearful of Allah, and say the truth, do the haqq, and the rest is not your job. Don't worry. So what is the evidence for that? And I will conclude with this. What is the evidence for that? وَكَانَ أَبُوهُمَا صَالِحًا. This is the evidence. This is the biggest evidence in the Quran. Can you imagine? We all know Surah Al-Kahf. We all know Musa alayhi salam and Al-Khadr, the story. We know that they passed by this kind of village and they were so wicked, they did not allow them to give food. It was the custom of people on earth, by the way, at that time. Because they did not have special breaks in the highways, did not have Uber Eats, they did not have it. They were traveling. When you travel, any village in your way, you need food and they must help you, or otherwise really you could be lost. So they were so wicked, so mean, so bad, to a degree, all the village, they rejected to give them food and drink. قال فوجد جدارا يريد أن ينقض. We know the story. It was about to fall down. He started to refix it. قال لو شئت لاتخذت عليه أجرا. يعني it was confusing for Musa عليه السلام. يا عمي at least يعني take some money to bring some food. لاتخذت عليه أجرا. And هذا فراق بينهم. Now the story. When Allah decided to let Musa be aware why these things happened, what happened behind the scene, the غيب, قال وكان أبوهما صالحا. Please pause now. Can you imagine someone who is not known? We don't know him. He's not a celebrity. We don't know him. Where is he? Who's his name? We don't know. What's his name? A man. غلامين. 2 young kids, which means they are still not mukallafin. They have not reached the level that they are accountable, which means still they are outside of the consideration. So they have done nothing and their father is not well known and he is dead. Yet Allah sent 2 prophets, one of them from Ulil Azm min al-Rusul. He is from high-ranked messengers, Al-Khadr and Musa, both of them to work as builders, construction builders with mud, soil. Can you imagine? They were working with the turab to fix a wall for the sake of 2 kids sleeping at home because their father was rich? No. Celebrity? No. From high, race? No. Because he had a very nice color, his eyes? No. His color skin? No. كان أبوهما صالحا. Righteous. So this is the divine recipe. If you believe in it, don't worry, by the way. This is controllable. Everything else, we can't control Netflix now. We can't control Disney. Because if you want to do something with Disney or Netflix, you need to be able to compete the United States. Okay? So please forget it now. But you can control your desire. You yourself don't watch Netflix. You yourself delete the subscription. You yourself stop wasting 5 hours on TikTok every day. You yourself come to the Fajr prayer every day. When this happens for the sake of Allah, by Allah, Allah will help you. Plus, now your job, your duty, passion, time, love, sit, listen, hug, kiss your kids. They need you. It's not a condition to be a multimillionaire, to have 3 jobs, because you need to have 5 houses to تأمين مستقبل الأولاد. You know, you say, I want to guarantee, I don't know what will happen. No. Having 5 houses, be multimillionaire will not protect your kids after your death. Just be humble, take what you need with the normal and give them time. Give them love, sit with them. It's not just Islamic school. What if they are not Islamic school? They need extra care, extra love, extra time, or otherwise they will be lost, and I and you might be lost as well. أقول قولي هذا استغفر الله لي ولكم فيا فوز المستغفرين. استغفر الله استغفر الله استغفر الله استغفر الله. In the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the most compassionate, the most merciful, all praise and thanks are due to him, and peace and blessings be upon his beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Before I make the dua, you are all invited after tomorrow at 6 in this place. We will have like an open discussion. We'll try to see, we have about 5 experts here. Someone who's expert in what we say as the constitution, the law, the media, the schools, the law of the schools, you know, the district, what they do, to try to have a conversation how to deal with this issue, the issue of the, you know, sex education in general, the challenges that our kids are finding from legal, constitutional point of view. What do we have rights? How can we raise our voice? Which kind of institutions we need to contact so that we can know what we should do in a legal way, not to violate the law. You need to understand. So we have about 5 experts, inshallah. We'll be talking here. We will start talking at 6 here, inshallah, bi'idhnillah. So you are most welcome, and please come on time before 6, because at 6 sharply we will start speaking. And in case if you could not, please try to follow AC votes, Arab Canadian votes, and Brother Firas Mresh, who is one of the administration in this Masjid Dara Foundation. He is one of the experts who is well aware, and he had a special conversation with MPs, MPPs, and the Minister of Justice about the status of Muslims, especially when they talked about the convergent therapy ban. Because this conflicts in some of its possible applications with, you know, because anyone can use this law just for the sake of you discuss with your kid, you might be taken to the jail. I mean, literally by the law. Unless if you know, you understand how to deal with it from legal point of view. So you need to be, you know, aware of the law, what to say, how to say it, what to do, to whom you report, why, when. So please come after tomorrow, inshallah, at 6. جزاكم الله خيرا. اللهم اهدنا فيمن هديت وعافنا فيمن عافيت وتولنا فيمن توليت وبارك اللهم لنا فيما أعطيت وقنا واصرف عنا شر ما قضيت إنك تقضي بالحق ولا يقضى عليك وإنه لا يعز من عاديت ولا يذل من وليت تباركت ربنا وتعاليت فلك الحمد على ما أنعمت به ولك الشكر على ما أوليت نستغفرك ربنا ونتوب إليك اللهم ارحمنا فوق الأرض وتحت الأرض ويوم العرض عليك يا رب العالمين سبحانك لا نحصي ثناء عليك أنت كما أثنيت على نفسك أنت المقدم وأنت المؤخر وأنت على كل شيء قدير إن الله يأمر بالعدل والإحسان وإيتاء ذي القربى وينهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر والبغي يعظكم لعلكم تذكرون. Before we raise inshallah the iqamah, you have a group of your friends جزاهم الله خيرا, which is Hope for Vision, Help Children from Palestine, which is the MAP I don't know refers to what. It's MAP organization. They are specialists, Jazahumullahu khairan, in making operations for needy people who are facing problem in their visions. So they need support, and inshallah it will be sadaqah jariyah. Do your best to support them, and Dr. Yasser, after we finish the prayer, will tell you about them. Jazahumullahu khairan. So wa aqim as-salah.